Welcome to Inkredible Techniques. My name is Megan. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, bringing you card tutorials, scrapbooking pages, 3D paper projects, and all kinds of fun stuff. Today I want to show you how to make this beautiful card. This is a great masculine card. This one, of course, is for Dad because Father's Day is coming up, but you could tailor this, and we've made this a Happy Father's Day here as well with the trees. You could easily tailor this to make it for birthday, get well, thinking of you, hello, just all kinds of occasions. You would just change this out if you wanted, or you could still keep it Dad and just change the inside sentiment out. But again, this is today's card. I also stamped the envelope, and I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. So if you have not already subscribed, please hit the red button, and after you do that, hit the bell next to it for notifications so that you get notified every time I post a video. I typically post videos 2 to 3 days a week, and if you need a catalog, let me know. I'll be happy to send you a catalog as well. So again, today we're going to be using this waterfront stamp set to make a quick Father's Day card. But this card could easily be converted to birthday, just thinking of you, hello, get well, anything you wanted. All of the dimensions and supply list will be in the description below. But we're going to go ahead and get started now. I've got a piece of scrap paper here just so I can stamp off on, and I've got my, which I'm going to put this down on here, actually cover it up. And then I've got my strip that I'm going to be stamping on. And I've got a number of colors. I'm going to be using crumb cake and soft suede for the mountains. Going to be using granny apple green for the grass. Going to be using tranquil tide for the like fir, pine trees, whatever they are. And then balmy blue for the water, and I may pull in another color for the water as well. I'm also using a Stampin' Blends, the light, this is the light pool party. That's going to be for my sky. So I've already mounted a couple of my stamps, and I'm going to use crumb cake first because my ink pad here is pretty juicy, which looks like I missed a spot on that. I'm going to stamp off one, and I'm using the foam mat as well just to help me make sure I get a really good image. And again, I'm going to stamp off and then stamp. And you can overlap these. By overlapping, it just gives you more of a layered look, which is how mountains are anyway. Then I'm going to come in with just a couple of these. I'm going to ink my stamp in this darker soft suede color. Probably stamping off again because that's a little too dark probably. And just, I think I'll do one more. Just do one. For the water, I'm going to be using balmy blue. And again, this is a little bit darker than I would like, so I'm just gonna stamp off. That looks pretty good actually. And I am going to use one more color for the water all the way. I'm just going to stamp that over on top. Yeah, that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just stamp that in the center here. Bring in the crumb cake again, and I'm going to just stamp a little bit. Yep, that's good. And then I'm going to clean off the stamp again. And we're going to bring in our granny apple green. So now I'm going to build in some grass. And again, I'm just going to have, it's going to get layered a little bit here. Just take your time at this point. It takes a little bit of patience. I'm going to do probably one more. I'm rotating, stamping this way and stamping this way, and that's just so I can get, the stamp is not the same width all the way across, so this just helps me get a better stamped image kind of along the way. And I'm going to do the same thing on this. There's a little bit of white space right here, so I'm going to stamp on that as well. Okay, so now we have our grass, our water, and our mountains. So the next thing I want is the trees. On the trees, I'm going to do that in Tranquil Tide. I got my trees in this corner right here. I'm going to mount the sun, and the sun I'm going to ink that up in So Saffron. And I think that my sun is going to go right there. There's this little speckled image in this stamp set, and it really gives the card a lot of dimension. So I'm going to use that as well. So I'm going to do these speckles, and I think I'm going to do my speckles maybe in the balmy blue. Just kind of gives it a little bit of speckled look there. You could even do a little bit over here too. Just gives it a little something extra, I think. I'm going to pull in my Stampin' Blends. I've got the light Pool Party, and I want to color this, well, actually, I also have a crumb cake. You might not be able to see this very well on camera. Then for the sky, I can go ahead and kind of color in the sky as well. You could easily leave this part out as well if you'd like. And as this dries, you won't see the lined marks anymore. So I'm just going to let that dry for a moment. I want to emboss the card base. So I've got the Big Shot in here. Hopefully you can see on camera. I've got grainy apple green cardstock, and I'm using the Woodland texture embossing folder. I've already got my cardstock in here, and I'm just going to crank this through the Big Shot. I'm going to crank it forward and back just to make sure we get a good embossed image. Now we have our card base here. I've got the panel here that I just stamped using my snail. I'm going to adhere this to the wood grain piece. This is from the Wood Textures. On this one, it's double-sided paper. On this particular one, both sides look very similar. There is a difference, slight difference. Actually, I think I'll use this side. You just want to adhere this in the center of that panel. Then I'm going to adhere all of this in the center of an Early Espresso panel. And again, all the dimensions can be found in the description below. I'll center this. And then I'm going to place this in the center of my card. I think I want this up towards the top a little bit because we're going to put our greeting down below. Okay, so here's our card. And again, you can tailor this for any occasion. Today I'm going to be making this as a Father's Day card. So I'm going to grab my greetings for that. I just found a stamp that said Dad. I stamped it in Early Espresso on Whisper White and cut it out with the next size up of the stitched framelits and adhered these together. And what I'm going to do is I stamped this on the lower portion because I'm going to cut off the top half of this circle, and I'm just eyeballing it. But I'm cutting the top half off, and then I'm just going to adhere it to the bottom. Just going to slightly tuck it underneath this mat here. That kind of lift it up. I got to put this where you guys can see it. And let's see, I'm upside down, but I think, yeah, that's good. That's where I want it. So it's just going to say Dad. And then let's go ahead and decorate the inside of our panel. I'm going to ink it in Early Espresso and just center it underneath the words happy. Get my grainy apple green. I'm going to put a little bit of grass. I'm going to use this as my scrap paper again. I'm going to stamp a little bit of grass towards the bottom, and I'm going to layer it a little bit as well. Just maybe a couple times like that. And then I'll bring in my trees in the, well, actually, while I've got this stamp out, I'm going to do my envelope with some grass as well, but I'm going to only stamp maybe the lower portion here with a little bit of grass. Let's layer that a little bit. Do it like that. I will stamp my trees in the tranquil tide. Some trees. So we'll just do like that. I think I'll do a couple different sets of trees here. Stamp off a little bit. Like that. And you're just going to adhere this so that you're leaving about 1/4 inch. So there you have it. It's a perfect card for Dad. You could use Father's Day, birthday, get well, anything. And then here's our coordinating envelope. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's project. Again, if you've not already subscribed to my channel, please do so at this time by hitting the red button. And once you hit the red subscribe button, then click the bell icon next to it so that you get notifications every time I post a video. I post videos 2 to 3 times a week, bringing you all kinds of tips, tricks, and tutorials. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you're here in the US, I would love for you to contact me and I would be happy to send you a complimentary catalog. Thanks for watching. Until next time, have an incredible day.